r/AskReddit by Reddit and chill. What are the most common hints dropped by girls that are mostly ignored? Getting really talkative when their crush is around. Even if talking to someone else and he is just in hearing distance. True of guys too. I just watched 2 of my co-workers start dating after months of gym and Pam-ing it. It was funny to see how much more talkative the guy got when the girl was around. It was like 2 totally different people. Talking about something like a concert or a movie in theaters. I really wish I could go. But it's no fun by myself. Like. Sure, it may not be a date, but if you're even remotely into what she's talking about and or into her, suggest going with her. If she doesn't initiate contact ever, she's not interested. If her replies are always short and never lead to a conversation, she's not interested. If she keeps hitting you up and asking about your life, or sending you memes or anything, she wants to connect with you and likes you. Agreed, the meme game is now an interesting potential platform for flirting. When everybody IA laughing and she tries to catch your look. What does that mean? A friend of mine does that a lot. Man, this garbage is starting to smell. Don't worry, I will push it further down in the can. That should help. Fun little nicknames for you like leave me alone. And the classic, do I know you? Being busy. For example, want to do this Saturday? No thanks. I'm busy. We should go out sometime. Thanks. But I'm really busy these days. And just general. I'm really busy right now and can't talk. If she offers an alternative to time to go out, chat, text, whatever, then she likely really is too busy. But if she doesn't, no matter how specific she is about why she is busy or what she is going to do, it's still probably a no. The politeness of the no is what Dan Savage calls the vanilla icing on the shit cake. Edit. I'm not necessarily endorsing this approach as way to say no. Just answering the question asked. I've personally witnessed an exception to this. Still one of those moments I think about often for some reason. Lol. Was the third wheel on this first date between a friend of mine and a girl. It was awkward. The whole night seemed awkward. Date ends and he asks her for another date. She says I have to relace my shoelaces that day. I slink down and try to be invisible and not there. He says what about a different day? She says, I have to dye my hair that day. This goes on 5-6 times. Becoming the most cringy thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Then out of nowhere she says yes. They ended up getting married and divorced. I met a woman in a Dallas bar a few years back. Within a minute she asked me who my favorite Doctor Who was. I had no idea what she was talking about, so she promptly ignored me. I don't think I answered the question correctly. You never forget your first Doctor. Most girls will hug you if they want to. If you have to ask for one, then they probably didn't want to. Where's my hug at? I was talking to my buddy in school and I said something along the lines of it's my birthday. I don't mind free hugs. And this one girl I never met in my life broke out of stride. Gave me a big hug. Then walked away like nothing happened. My friend and I just looked stunned and then I said I'll take it. If I'm being short with my responses, yep, no, etc, and looking straight ahead. I don't want to talk to you. Strange man in the lift. Problem is, strange men in the lift probably don't care. Eye contact and personal bubble. If you move in closer to talk and she moves away, it's a no. Please don't get closer. There is a trick to get closer. Shorty, avoid eye contact and move in sideways. If she isn't looking you in the eyes, your approach won't be noticed and there you go. You have got the purse. I want to find out also. Had this one girl in my class who found out I was staring at her, so she stares back at me when I'm not looking at her and vice versa. But when we do talk to each other it wouldn't last more than a minute. So help me out. You both probably like each other and are too nervous to admit it. Nervousness from either/both parties can make conversations short. Ask her out on a date and see what happens. Worst she can say is no. And then you'll find someone who does like you. If she does say yes, try to do your part to keep the conversation going. And try to find common interests. Conversation with each person you meet is a skill. It needs practice and a bit of effort from both parties. Or do it in reverse. Talk to her and see if you can have a real conversation before asking her out. Signals might communicate some information, but words communicate more. Signals and body language help with verbal communication, and neither are perfect systems. Not everyone gives the same signs. It's often simpler to just ask if you aren't sure what's up. Sometimes when a guy says something stupid, my wife gives them a second chance by pretending that she didn't hear them the first time. If this happens to you, try and recover by changing the subject. If they actually want you to repeat yourself, they'll ask. I miss this hint way too often. I do that too. I also pretend not to understand any innuendo. There's something about asking someone to explain at length the gross comment they were trying to make that really shuts them down. If she takes off her clothes in front of you, that's a good sign. A. Still not enough to be sure. Best to just let it slide and wait for more obvious signs. A clear no. So, should we move the date to next weekend? Then? I told her my feelings and she flat out thought I was joking. Edit. Never thought so many people can relate to this. We all are miserable, I guess. Doesn't matter what universe you are from, that's gotta hurt. One my boyfriend misses repeatedly is, do you want to come to bed? If it's 8 PM and I'm asking you to come to bed, it's not to go to sleep. You numpty. Edit. Guys, this isn't the only way I ever initiate intimacy. I'm not a moron. I was simply answering the question. Important numpty as NP. I think one thing a lot of people miss is that when you're around someone you have feelings for, you're nervous, tongue-tied, and awkward. That is a pretty good giveaway. Unless she's just nervous because some guy is being super creepy. Girl here. A lot of times girls will be extremely bubbly, friendly, and talkative with men. And they think it's a sign she's attracted. But the thing is, she's completely at ease and relaxed. Most people don't feel calm and at ease when they have a crush on someone. It's easy to be friendly and confident towards someone you have no feelings at all for. I think this is how friend-zoned misunderstandings often happen. She might have some feelings of attraction towards you, but probably not any sort of strong feelings. Or she might be one of the rare people who don't feel anxious around their crush, unlikely but possible. As always, these are generalizations and most things are best evaluated in a case-by-case basis. I'm so sad now that I've read this. Eye contact. When I have a crush on someone, I can't help but want to look into their beautiful eyes. Similarly, if I'm looking anywhere but you, go away. I personally have a really hard time looking my crush in the eyes. I'll make eye contact for a second or two at a time and look around because otherwise I know I'll blush too much. I worry it sends the wrong idea though. Watch where her shoulders and feet are pointing. If they're directly facing you, she is engaged and enjoying your company. Also, if she kind of lingers at the end of a conversation a little longer than usual, she probably enjoyed talking to you and you have her attention. Not always. If her feet are in your shoulders and pointing at the ceiling, she may be interested. If any human in the world stares at your lips and you wipe them, ask if there's something in your teeth and they say no and they continue to look at them. It's because they are sexually attracted to you. This is a cue for almost everyone. If they turn their entire body towards you while in a normal everyday conversation and touch you/lean in, share their personal bubble, they are interested. If you ask someone out and they make an excuse, leave them with your number, tell them there's no pressure but just in case they have an availability and want to see me. Sometimes they really do have plans but they want to go out with you. And if they don't, they won't contact you. If a person WHO works in customer service is nice to you, they are not automatically flirting. I don't know how many men left their numbers with me when I worked a drive-thru and then continually brought it up and made the entire situation so awkward. Like, cool, you shoot your shot. I'm fine with it. I'll take your number, but if I don't contact you, stop mentioning it. I didn't forget. I'm not blushing because I like you. I'm blushing because I'm embarrassed and don't want a scene from you flipping out over being rejected. To be honest, I look at someone's lips more than into their eyes when I'm speaking with them. Watching their lips move as they speak makes it easier to focus on and understand what they're saying. Especially if there's a lot of background noise going on. Edit. Typo. How to tell if a girl is into you. Thank you for this. I have learned that if a girl starts flirting with you, you can't really tell if she's into you. All I can say is if she grabs my forearm during animated conversation, I assume that means she wants to bear my children. Depends on whether that is followed by handcuffs, and even then it varies by context. Like whether she is a cop, for instance. So, what music do you listen to? Just give me a conversation topic, I'm bad at this. Yo, I think that's a legitimate topic for discussion though. I would say that I'm most comfortable at a seat at a bar, with my feet up on the foot holder. If someone sits and talks with me, my feet remain on my own bar stool. If I'm interested, I turn my chair and rest my feet on your bar stool's footrest. Subtle. Easy to out of if it goes poorly. Yet a direct sign to all else that I'm into talking with this guy. So you're saying we should take a stool sample to see if a girl's interested in us? As someone with a reasonable amount of anxiety, if she cancels but tries to reschedule, then she's interested. If she doesn't, she's not. Don't push it. But also accept it if she does reschedule. If a girl doesn't do this, she wants you to try rescheduling even though she cancelled, she's not mature enough to date. I asked a guy friend who I thought seemed attracted to me if he wanted to go out for a drink some night. At first he seemed really enthusiastic. But because we're friends, he assumed I meant just literally have a drink and talk. And kind of blew me off. Told me some other lame thing he had to do. And it fell by the wayside. But really I was thinking about screwing him. I just wanted to get him alone first and see how it goes. Could he really be that oblivious? I definitely don't want to waste time on him if he's just not into it. It's only hot if he wants it. 2. I'm older than him. And I assume not all guys are into that. Could he really be that oblivious? Yes. Don't use Reddit for advice on girls. And every girl is different, so this is unreliable. You have a better way to sample the population? When they get naked. That means I need to find them some clothes. Right? When she asks if you want to go to the champagne room. What if she offers you a cask of Amontillado? Asking for a friend. Honestly thought that this question was directed at men who missed clues from a woman who wanted to duck. This happened to me yesterday. I'm 90% sure. Anyway. Short, shallow conversation and interest. From what I have noticed, if she's into you, she will do things like play with her hair or clothes more. And generally make more of an effort if she's in a setting she expects to see you. This is something nobody really talks about. Not even girls, because I think it is mostly subconscious, but heightened emotions. If you see somebody who is normally reserved suddenly start acting out while you're around, not even directly talking, just near, they probably have some kind of strong feeling for you. Maybe physical contact? IDK. I've not got a ducking clue. I think when she tries a little physical contact from time to time it can be a clue. But thinking that one little touch means anything is wrong. But there aren't 3 accidents in 5 minutes. Why would I know? When I announce I'm going to bed and ask if you're coming with me, it's not because I want to sleep. I tend to move closer to them if I'm sitting near them. And whilst I'm not physically comfortable around most new people, if I get into a close and comfortable friendship with you, I'll be comfortable with physical affection. I also tend to talk to my friends about having a crush a lot, but without dropping specifics. I am an introvert girl, and if I say my social battery's got to 0% and still talk to you, it's because I'm into you, but all my crushes ignore that hint. Sorry for bad English. Well, if someone said that to me, I'd just assume they don't want to talk anymore. But I'm kinda oblivious with hints anyway. Not me. But if her top priority is annoying you and being around you 24/7, she probably likes you. But if you're annoyed, tell her to back off. There's no reason to keep letting her annoy you. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. But duck. Hints. Say what you want. Or duck off. If they poop on your front lawn. Women have a pretty bad poker tell wherein they will talk often about guys that they're into. It's almost like it's an involuntary thing that they don't know they're doing. It also is pretty irrelevant if the content of her speech is positive or negative. If she's talking about a guy a lot, weaving him into conversation to the point where it's noticeable, she prob wants to duck him. Ducking like and subscribe.